Well, every day seems to bring new allegations against Bill Cosby. Some of the accusations that he drugged and sexually assaulted young women have been around for years. Although the beloved star has never faced a judge or jury, many people have now tried him in their minds based on his refusal to answer questions and his awkward reactions.
Your name coming up in the news recently regarding this comedian.
No, we don't answer that.
Okay. I just wanted to ask if you wanted to respond at all about whether any of that was true.
There's no response.
Okay. Can I ask you, if with the persona that people know about Bill Cosby, should they believe anything differently about what?
There is no comment about that.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I think you were told. I don't want to compromise your integrity, but I don't talk about it.
As the interview wound down, Cosby then continued the conversation. The camera was still running, and Cosby and his wife were wearing lapel microphones.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Now, can I get something from you?
What's that?
That none of that will be shown?
I can't promise that myself, but you didn't say anything.
I know I didn't say anything, but I'm asking your integrity that since I didn't want to say anything, but I did answer you in terms of I don't want to say anything, of what value will it have?
I don't think it will.
Ma'am, what'd you say?
Sorry?
What did you say?
I don't think it has any value either.
Yeah.
And I would appreciate it if it was scuttled.
I hear you. I will tell that to my editors, and I think that they will understand.
Well, I think if you want to consider yourself to be serious, that it will not appear anywhere.
Okay. I appreciate what you've asked.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we thought, by the way, because it was AP, that it wouldn't be necessary to go over that question with you.
And we haven't written about this at all in the past 2 months, but they want, my bosses wanted me to ask. And
If you
so-
will just tell your boss, the reason why we didn't say that up front was because we thought that AP had the integrity to not ask.
Wow, that's something to behold. Gloria Allred is a civil rights lawyer who's noted for taking high-profile and often controversial cases. She's been particularly involved with cases involving the protection of women's rights, and she is joining us. Gloria, it's very good to see you. Nice to meet you. Thank you so much for being here on Arise America.
Thanks for inviting me.
Hey, I can't watch that whole clip and not ask you to react to it first, and then we'll get to these allegations. What do you make of? I'm sure he thought that that was off camera and no longer being recorded, but when you see that in its totality, what's your reaction?
Well, I don't know why you would think it was off camera and not being recorded, because at least from what I just viewed that you showed, there was nothing that was said that indicated or would indicate to him or any reasonable person that it was not being recorded or that it was off camera. Having said that, we are the leading women's rights law firm in the nation, and I am and have been inundated with a number of women contacting us alleging that they have been victimized by Bill Cosby. Some people have gone public, some have not. These are serious allegations made by a number of women. And now Mr. Cosby is now suffering the consequences of a lot of networks and broadcasters feeling that they're not going to proceed with whatever they have in development with him or were planning to broadcast. But my main concern is the victims and what they have suffered, and women speaking out, and there's so many of them now that I think in the court of public opinion there are many people who are tending to believe these women.
Well, Gloria, but that leads me to one of the first questions I want to ask about all these allegations, and it they are piling on. But the allegations, so many of them are of behavior that happened allegedly 30 or 40 or in some cases 50 years ago. Why now, in your experience with working with female victims of violence, why sometimes does it take so long for a victim, if in fact these women are victims of what they are accusing Dr. Cosby of, why is it taking them so long to come out?
Well, for many of them, the feeling may have been that they're not going to be believed against a rich, a powerful, and a famous celebrity. Women whose names were not otherwise known or just known in a rather minor way may have felt that either in the court of public opinion they would have been condemned, or that they might have been sued, or that maybe they felt ashamed or felt guilty, even though if in fact it occurred, they had nothing to feel guilty about. There are all kinds of reasons that victims of rape and sexual assault do not speak out. But now that a number of women have spoken out, others are feeling courage and they're feeling empowered and also want to come forward and be supportive of these women by sharing their own personal stories. So I commend them for making a decision to share what they remember about what their experience has been with Mr. Cosby.
Well, considering the statute of limitation has run out on both civil and criminal proceedings on these alleged accusations, what would these accusers hope to accomplish by coming out now?
Well, and by the way, we don't know each and every person who may have, in fact, been a victim of Bill Cosby. So it's possible that there are still people out there who may be within the statute of limitations who could file a civil lawsuit. And we're screening the people who call us very carefully to see if there is anybody within that statute of limitations that they would have legal right to pursue a remedy if, in fact, they have evidence to support their claims. But having said that, as to those who have come out so far, it does appear that it's too late. In other words, that the time period during which a case could be criminally prosecuted has expired, and that the period of time during which a civil case could be filed has also long ago expired. So what do they have to gain? Well, they have nothing to gain except to tell their truth as they know it, as they've lived it, as they've shared it. And so that's just another reason why people perhaps should not attack them, because they're not trying to achieve anything economically. They have no economic gain in mind. They just want to share what happened to them so that hopefully people will know and then perhaps be able to evaluate Bill Cosby in a different light.
I want to look at the other side of the coin, and that is, Gloria, if you were representing Bill Cosby and your client had this long list of accusations, but no charges, no evidence that's come to fore, and as you've said, at least for the accusations that have been lodged so far, the statute of limitations has run out. Would you advise your client to address it? Would you advise him any differently than how he's handling it now by refusing to answer questions about it?
Well, I wouldn't represent Bill Cosby or anyone accused of.
I understand, just hypothetically, though.
Abuse, or because we represent victims. In fact, I'm in New Orleans right now, representing a rape victim, and it is not necessary by the way, for victims to go to the police, although it's helpful if they do so. Sometimes they can resolve cases confidentially. Sometimes through the filing of a civil lawsuit. But as to Mr. Cosby, it's routine, kind of an old script line for attorneys for celebrities to call them extortionists. And it's like, this is the fear that victims have of coming out for fear of being attacked. Having said that, if they're aware of what the risks are and they weigh the risks against the benefits, then they can make their own informed decision about whether they want to come out or not. As to Mr. Cosby, he's kind of has a scattered approach. In some cases, his attorneys are singling out certain persons who are making allegations against Mr. Cosby and calling them liars. but I haven't seen anything where he's called each and every person who's made an allegation a liar. So, you know, but he has, I think he's been tried, and I think he has been convicted in the court of public opinion. And, you know, there's no statute of limitations for speaking out about what happened to a woman in the court of public opinion on the internet. They can speak out anytime they want, and, you know, and that's what women are doing. And I'm very proud of those who've chosen to make a decision to share what's happened to them from their point of view.
Gloria Allred, thank you so much. It's nice to meet you. We appreciate you coming on.
You too. Thank you.
And you're watching Arise America.